Hey, what's up everybody? Scott Zlatev here, and I'm coming to you live from my mobile office. I'm actually at a stoplight right now, so getting ready to turn. Gotta do some errands, but I was sitting there thinking about the things that have happened in my life, and especially over the last few years, and one really important question that I have to ask you, which you should be asking yourself, is who do I follow? You know, because I remember over the course of my career as an entrepreneur, I can recall when, it was back in 2001 when I actually got started in this industry. And it's a really important thing when you look at not only the person that you're following. One, do they have the lifestyle that you want? Two, do they have similar skill sets and abilities, and can you relate to their situation? And three, can you get along with them? That's a big one. But the biggest part though is, are they doing what you want to be doing, and are they getting the results that you want to get? And do they, are you able to actually do what they're saying to do? And and skill sets and talents and things like that, skills can be learned over time. No matter what it is, no matter what you want to accomplish, you can do. If you want to learn a new language, you can learn a new language. If you want to be a master golfer, you can become a master golfer. If you want to have a black belt in Kung Fu, you can have, or I don't even know if that's if they go by belts, but if you want to be really good in anything, you can do that. And the only question is, how fast and what talents and how much action you take in whatever direction. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. That's it, period. And you can learn skill sets, and you can learn different traits and different things that you can apply to not only life but in business as you move forward. The only question is how fast you can do that and how much time you can dedicate. And being in a position where you can actually take action now and start moving toward that end goal, that end result. And so moving back in 2001 when I got started, I didn't even know there was such a thing that you could actually be an entrepreneur. You could work from home. I had lawn jobs when I was a kid, but then I conformed. I was actually making more money as a kid going around with lawn jobs than people that were, adults down at the grocery store making minimum wage. And I had an amazing lifestyle. I'd work, about 2 or 3 hours every day mowing lawns, and then I'd go play for the rest of the day. And that was like when I was 13 or 14 years old. My parents used to run me from here to there. And I was banking some serious dough for a kid that wasn't even able to drive yet. And it didn't dawn on me that was the life of an entrepreneur, and I didn't realize it at the time, that was actually a good thing. And so I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, but then I conformed to society, to what all my friends and family and everybody else were doing, because I thought, that's what I was supposed to do. And so then fast forward, back in 2001, I got started in this industry because I found out and learned about the concepts of leverage. And the person that I joined my first opportunity with, he was making about, he was making 6 figures a month. And so he, for starters, he had the life that I wanted, right? He had the time freedom that I wanted. It wasn't so much the money, it was the fact that he could do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted to do it, which I think is what a lot of us are, that's where we are in our lives a lot of times. And, the big thing was, though, is what it was that he had to do to get that. Now, at that point in my life, I was willing to do whatever I needed to do. I was willing to do anything to make money because I was broke. I was flat broke, and I'll be really transparent. I've been flat broke most of my life, but that's something that can be changed in a moment as soon as you take action. And as soon as you decide that you want to change that, all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, just like you're watching this video right now, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And it's fascinating that that was a cornerstone in my life where I was ready for something different. I was ready to explore new territory that I didn't know existed. Just like you're probably watching this right now, wondering what the hell I'm talking about. But when I got started in 2001, with a guy. I mean, just incredible man. He'd been in the industry for a long time, many years, and he. But here's the thing is, I got started, and the first thing that I was told to do was to write a list of friends and family and people that you have influence with and all this stuff. Well, here's the problem. I was in my early 20s. My sphere of influence was family. I was the baby of the family. So in my family, if the oldest is the wisest and the buck of the family, and everybody else is pretty much gum on your shoe, and I had no respect from any of my family members. The friends and people that I ran around with at the time, they were basically just basically party buddies. And so because it was my early 20s. My sphere of association were people that just wanted to make enough money to go out and party to the point that they were speaking in tongues by the end of the night. They were so drunk, so that was my sphere of influence. And sorry, let's see. Let me turn in here so I can actually continue talking to you and you can actually see me. So that was my sphere of influence, were those types of people. And so, but I was bound and determined to make this happen. So what did I do? I started to go, I approached everybody, and surprisingly enough, I actually was able to recruit 12 people, I think, in my first month or two. It was a while ago, so I kind of forget. But so I ended up doing that, and basically they pretty much got involved because I bugged them so much, and I think they figured, well, if I just signed up in this deal, then he'll leave me alone. So I was doing more of a a mad approach to trying to get anybody in. And what ended up happening, though, was it was like $49 just to get started, and that was just the ability to market the product, and we didn't even have anything, and then you had to buy product on outside of that, and so my next step was, well, what do you do? What do you do after that when you have nobody to talk to? What do you do when you run out of your friends and family and your list and all this stuff? And so I spoke with my upline, and he basically said, well, I don't really know, because see, he already been in the industry for 18 plus years. He had an existing team. He had a huge list. He had all these resources. He was a lot older than I was. He was in a different spot than I was. So for me to be able to learn from him, to follow from what his teachings were, there was a complete mismatch, because I couldn't do what he was doing. And because he had 18 years of basically equity with people that I didn't have, which is why he was really, really successful. So I had to reach outside of those of him, and I had to find a mentor that was in a position where I was, or I could model after what they did. So I actually, I reached out to a couple different people that were actually in the same company, and they started putting together these mastermind sessions, and were able to mentor a person like me, where you're basically no friends left. You can't do anything. You can't there's nobody to prospect with. And so interestingly enough, their thing was basically just talk to tons of people. Well, I had a problem with communicating with people for whatever reason, whether it's my style of clothing, the way that I talked with people. I don't know. It was this personal development issue I had with people, being able to talk and communicate with people, because I was more geared toward production, toward producing results, toward taking action. I was a massive action type of guy. Whenever I wanted to do something, I would just do it, and it was always something tangible, like basketball or track or something that was something that I could do myself. And so I was never really good at connecting with people until I started learning over time which took a lot of years. And usually now I connect really, really well with people after they've already clicked on the button, and after they've already joined, and after they've already become a member of my team, and then they're on a different level with me where I'm able to coach and teach and show different ways of going about marketing, so that they don't have to ever experience what I had to experience, going out and trying to chase friends and family and trying to meet random strangers, which is actually what I started to do. I started to go to places like Walmart. I started to go to all these different places in the efforts of trying to build a business. Now I look back today, and I'm glad that I went through those experiences, because I can look back on that now and enjoy every moment that I'm living now, where I can just extract money out of thin air and be able to attract a multitude of people, and that's exactly what we teach. But when you're looking at who you follow, one, are they in the position that you're in? Two, do they have, are they capable of doing the same thing that they're teaching you to do? And, when I fast forward till today, when I got online, it was a whole different experience, because now here's the thing. I found something that I could, I was not comfortable going around town and putting flyers on cars and talking to random strangers and trying to strike up a conversation out of thin air, or look in my high school yearbook and find a person that I haven't, that I went to kindergartner with, those type of things. And so now when I came online, I found a mentor. I found a person that I could follow. Okay, and the things that they were teaching to do, I could do. I could sit there and I could cut a video. It took me a little bit to actually be comfortable in front of a camera, but I could do that. I could do that, and I built my whole business part-time while I was working a full-time job, 40 hours a week, and I started with $25 to my name. Okay, and so I went from broke, $25 left in my bank account with a 3-month-old daughter, and I ended up, today, I paid cash for this Mercedes. I quit my day job of 15 years that it took me to get to that income level, and it took me that power, that passion within me, and finally deciding to do something that worked. Right? Finally deciding to follow somebody who knew what they were talking about, and I could do the skill sets that they were talking about. Because I could write, I could blog, I could learn how to do all those things, and I can learn how to do it effectively enough that I could do this in a part-time basis, where I could learn how to drive traffic on the internet to an offer that I chose and connect with people through video like I'm connecting with you right now. And so who you follow has a dramatic impact on how your life and your business will, how the results will come out. Because if you're broke right now, or maybe you're not, maybe you're doing really well, but if you're working a full-time job, it's difficult to learn how, in my opinion, it's difficult to learn how to market online from somebody who's been doing this for years and can't relate to where you're at. It wasn't too long ago that I was still working a full-time job, still had my family, still had all these other obligations, other things, and I had to learn really good time management. And I was, there was very soon, I was actually one of the top producers within our specific company, the Empower Network, in the very, very beginning stages. And then as we started to progress, more and more people started popping up, and people just, it's insane now how much money that we actually make. It was just like last week. Today's actually Valentine's Day, and today I checked my back office, and I already made a couple $100 today before I'm even doing this running around. And last week I made, in a single day, I made, I think, $3,200. I know I got a commission of $3,000. But that's besides the point. The point is that who is it that you're following? Are they doing the thing? Are they getting the results that you want to get? Two, are they doing the things that you want to do? Right? And are they capable of doing the things that you want to do? Because truthfully, if you don't have, if you don't have a ton of time, is it really going to, if like let's say you're broke, right? So you can't do any paid advertising. So how are you going to be able to do a bunch of marketing online if you don't have any financing to do any paid advertising? Well, you do the free methods. Well, the free methods take time. Well, what if there's how is it that I was able to do I was basically making a full-time income on a part-time effort because I was working a full-time day job. Okay, so how is it that I was able to do that? Well, I leveraged my time really well. There's specific online tools that I used. There was a lot of things that I did to kind of bend time to what I wanted to accomplish. And see, those are the things, if you're following somebody who's doing it full-time, which I'm doing it full-time now, but it wasn't very long ago. I remember what it was like. I remember, putting in some extra hours, working 4 to 6 hours a night, and getting the same type of results as people that were working, 12 and 14 hours. Okay, I remember those, and I remember what it was like. And there's certain things that a person that different people know that other people don't, and it's not that it's bad or indifferent, but the point is that who are you following? I decided to follow a mentor who, David Wood, who taught me everything. And, I continue to grow and I continue to learn, and that's never going to be an ending process. That's always going to happen. But the biggest thing that you have to understand is, who are you following? Are you following a person that has the results you want, and are you following a person who's doing the things that you want to do, and they're living the lifestyle that you want to live, and are they teaching what they're doing, and are you able to duplicate that and be able to do the same thing? Are those some of the things? So wherever you're at, wherever you're seeing this video, make a decision on who you're going to follow, who you're going to model after. Because when I decided to start modeling after my mentor, I started making money. I started having success. I started having results. So I encourage you to model after a person. You can model after me, you can model after anybody else, but model after a person who is in a similar situation that you're in, okay? And because the strategies are all over the place. You can do tons of strategies, okay? But if you can't physically do the things that they're talking about doing, you can learn tangible skills. But if you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough different result or different things, you can find ways, creative ways to do things. Okay, I mean, I've had to do that my entire career. Okay. But you can learn certain things, but there are some limitations, such as time. If you only got 4 hours a day, you only have 4 hours a day. And that's where you learn how to condense your time into the absolute income producing activities that will put money in your pocket and make it so that you can get out of your job or wherever your situation is, and you can start having a life and living the life of the person like myself or any of these other leaders that you see all over Facebook, all over YouTube, all over the first page of Google, all those different types of things. So take action right now. I've got a button probably somewhere on this page. Go ahead and click on the button. You can follow me. One of the things that we do in our team specifically is we teach a tremendous amount. And when you finally align yourself with a team that knows what they're doing, that teaches you, the different tangible aspects of marketing principles, and actually cares about you and grow and allows you to grow into your own person, your own being on what you see as a success, because what is successful to me might not be successful to you. Not everybody. You might not want to drive a Mercedes. You may not want to leave your job. You may not want to make $10,000 a month. You may not want to do that. But those things are available to you once you take action now. Click on the button down below and we'll help you get started. All right, my friend, this is Scott Zlateff. I got to run in, got to grab some stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.